Q3165, an operable 4096 code transponder with an encoding altimeter is required in which airspace? A. Class A, Class B, and within 30 miles of the Class B primary airport, and Class C. B. Class D and Class E, below 10,000 feet, MSL. C. Class D and Class G, below 10,000 feet, MSL. The correct answer is A. An operable 4096 code transponder with an encoding altimeter is required in Class A, Class B, and within 30 miles of the Class B primary airport, and Class C airspace. Class A airspace encompasses all airspace above 18,000 feet MSL, means sea level, up to and including FL 600, flight level 600. Transponder with Mode C capability is required in Class A airspace, which includes the ability to transmit altitude information to air traffic control. Class B airspace is typically airspace surrounding the busiest airports and requires a transponder with Mode C capability within the airspace and within 30 miles of the primary airport. This requirement helps provide accurate altitude information to air traffic control and enhances surveillance capabilities in congested airspace. Class C airspace is generally airspace around airports with moderate to high traffic volume. It requires an operable transponder with Mode C capability, including an encoding altimeter. This ensures that aircraft in Class C airspace can provide altitude information to ATC for accurate traffic separation. It's important for pilots to be familiar with the specific requirements of each airspace class and ensure that their transponder is properly equipped and functioning when operating in those airspace categories. 3129. An operable 4096 code transponder and Mode C encoding altimeter are required in A. Class B airspace and within 30 miles of the Class B primary airport. B. Class D airspace. C. Class E airspace below 10,000 feet, MSL. The correct answer is A. An operable 4096 code transponder and Mode C encoding altimeter are required in Class B airspace and within 30 miles of the Class B primary airport. Class B airspace is typically airspace surrounding the busiest airports with high levels of air traffic. To enhance surveillance and provide accurate altitude information, aircraft operating in Class B airspace and within 30 miles of the primary airport are required to have an operable transponder with Mode C capability. The transponder should be capable of transmitting the aircraft's altitude information to air traffic control. The Mode C encoding altimeter is an integral part of the transponder system and provides the altitude information that is transmitted to ATC. This allows controllers to have precise altitude information for aircraft in Class B airspace, aiding in traffic separation and maintaining efficient operations. Pilots should be aware of the specific requirements for each airspace class they intend to operate in and ensure that their aircraft is equipped with the necessary transponder capabilities when flying in Class B airspace and its designated vicinity. 3801. When operating under VFR below 18,000 feet MSL, unless otherwise authorized, what transponder code should be selected? A. 1200. B. 7600. C. 7700. The correct answer is A. When operating under VFR, visual flight rules, below 18,000 feet MSL, mean sea level, the transponder code that should be selected, unless otherwise authorized, is 1200. The transponder is an electronic device in an aircraft that helps air traffic control, ATC, to identify and track the aircraft's position on radar. It transmits a unique 4-digit code known as a transponder code. When operating under VFR, the standard transponder code is 1200. This code is used to indicate that the aircraft is operating under VFR and is not experiencing any emergencies or special conditions. Selecting the appropriate transponder code is important for maintaining proper communication and identification with ATC. By selecting 1200, Pilots indicate their intention to follow VFR rules and be responsible for their own navigation and separation from other aircraft. It's essential to comply with the prescribed transponder code requirements to ensure effective communication and coordination with ATC while operating under VFR conditions. 3996. When the transponder on the VFR code, 1200, what is the minimum mode the transponder must be in? A. Mode A. B. Mode C. C. Mode F. The correct answer is A. When the transponder is set to the VFR code 1200, the minimum mode that the transponder must be in is Mode A. Transponders have different operating modes, including Mode A and Mode C. Mode A provides the basic identification of the aircraft to air traffic control, ATC, radar systems. It transmits the assigned 4-digit transponder code selected by the pilot. When operating in VFR conditions and using the VFR code 1200, the transponder must be set to Mode A to transmit the assigned code to ATC radar systems. This allows ATC to identify and track the aircraft on radar. Mode C, on the other hand, provides additional altitude information to ATC by transmitting the aircraft's pressure altitude. However, when operating on the VFR code 1200, the minimum mode required is Mode A, which transmits the assigned code but does not provide altitude information. It is important for pilots to ensure that their transponders are set to the appropriate mode, Mode A, when operating on the VFR code to comply with regulatory requirements and facilitate accurate radar identification by ATC. 3803. If air traffic control advises that radar is terminated when the pilot is departing Class C airspace, the transponder should be set to code A0000, B 1200, C 4096. The correct answer is B. When air traffic control advises that radar service is terminated for a departing aircraft in Class C airspace, the transponder should be set to the VFR code of 1200. Setting the transponder to code 1200 indicates to ATC that the aircraft is operating under Visual Flight Rules, VFR, and is not receiving radar services. It is the default transponder code for VFR flights when not under any other specific ATC instruction or requirement. By setting the transponder to code 1200, the pilot informs ATC that they will be self-monitoring and self-separating from other traffic while operating in Class C airspace or any subsequent airspace outside of radar coverage. It's important for pilots to follow ATC instructions regarding transponder codes and to communicate any changes or deviations as required.